Welcome, Your Excellency. Very good kind of application for purposes of knowing who is in. We will provide you.
Ambassador Samuel Henry Country and County Affairs Directorate, and also responsible for
covering the Iberian Peninsula, former Yugoslavia as the Executive Director and the Coordination Board, Public Service. And now I'm serving.
I served
Good afternoon.
Ambassador in Sudan for 6 years. I was political
for Burundi then. I last served in Uganda.
Ambassador, Deputy Permanent Representative at the United Nations and Kenyan University. Kenya to the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Permanent Representative.
As a Deputy Secretary. Went to the ministry. I'm Jambo.
Thank you so much.
Your Excellency, on the issue of the Kenya Oral History Center and Kosh and the great work that they're doing, we commend them. This particular initiative aligns very well with what we are trying to do around celebrating 60 years of Kenya's diplomacy at the end of this year, part of which includes documentation of some of that journey, and not to the depth that Kosh proposes to do, but a broad scan, a broad overview of it will be captured. And so it's an area that we want to immediately indicate our interest to collaborate with and to be able to walk that journey together. We are happy to nominate an officer to work with you around around what the needs are at this present moment. Your Excellency, with your permission, I would like to request that you allow me to set up a joint committee of the State Department and the former retired Ambassador Association to tease out the issues that we need to both work on and then to report to you in another month or so.
If people in this room have given that kind of service, and when the owner's role comes out and none or very few are identified, I think it means we have to do some homework to show greater respect and appreciation for the work that you have put in for this country. Some of the issues you're raising here will eventually require fundamental support from Parliament. Parliament allocates resources based on what the executive requests or puts as propositions. So it has become much clearer that unless we tell our story to Parliament in a structured and organized manner, we shall have problems in raising resources to support Foreign Service and to deal with some of the concerns that you have raised. This morning, I made a commitment that we are working on a sessional paper which we want to share and have debated in Parliament, so that policy issues and issues that have been hanging because there's no clear framework to resolve this. I'm sure the technocrats listening to me, you'll now understand why I have been a thorn in the flesh, pounding regularly, saying that for us to help in turning out the issues, we must engage and have a sessional paper debated by Parliament, approved by Parliament, where we can put a case for the resources that we shall need going into the future. We should not have a foreign policy that is confined to the corridors of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We must have a foreign policy that is owned by the people of Kenya through their representatives, through Parliament, and therefore they will be able to allocate more resources for us to tackle the concerns that you have. And we are doing it not for us, not for me, but for others. So it is absolutely essential that we pick up from here and we be able to do that. So I will do just one thing to assure you that I'll work very, very closely with you, and we will then report good progress amongst ourselves and going forward. I will also be calling on you from time to time on these issues. I was trying to imagine, as you are talking, today in this room, there is a concentration of serious, high voltage diplomatic knowledge in this room, diplomatic and public experience in this room. If you are to count in terms of the years put, maybe you'll be running into thousands of years of service collectively, of public service and of diplomacy. And that reservoir of resource, surely we should not allow it to just disappear. It must be there so that others can stand on your shoulders to be able to move forward and make Kenya's role and image and purpose much better for our own citizens and for the continent of Africa.